Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford is here to talk about the traffic that we have as a lot of people are heading back into their routine today. Kids going back to the classroom, people going back to work. And as such, we are seeing several areas where we have some delays early this morning. We're going to talk through some of those spots. And let's just start with the wide view and give you the view of how our commute is going. Over the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to guide you through any of our issues that we are seeing as we are picking up our morning commute. And you can see several areas that stand out with orange and red on the map. We've got the JFK approaching I-80 with some delays. Dodge, as you are making your way from roughly about 144th back to 180th with slow travel. And then we're going to start here on I-80 with an area from about 84th back to the 680 interchange where things are struggling and have been for about 15 minutes or so. Let me show you that area. No particular cause has come to light as far as any crashes or anything, but it does seem like maybe just heavy traffic heading through this area. Let's watch this camera here for a little bit, and then we'll check in with a couple of other spots where we're having some issues. So again, you're looking at I-80. This is between 84th and the 680 interchange, and the traffic that is coming toward the camera here is heading eastbound. That's where we're seeing our delays as you are making your way from about 680 over to 84th. Again, no real apparent cause that has come to light just yet, but I'll continue to keep you posted with that and check in again if we do get some more information on that. Let's check in on a couple of other spots. I mentioned some of the other ones that are having some delays, and I want to next look at what we've got going on Dodge, where we've got some slow travel, and let me show you what that looks like on the map. So it's as you're approaching Boys Town, right around 144th, back to 180th, and you're talking about speeds in this stretch that are generally sitting from about 10 to 25 miles per hour, not moving along very well at all. It gets a little better as you start approaching 144th. But speaking of, take a look at what we've got going on the camera that we have on 144th and West Dodge, and you can see a lot of brake lights there as you're making your way just past that interchange. We'll let this roll for a little bit, and I'll talk if we get any more information about what's causing this or anything else that breaks. Started to see things stack up a little bit there on the entrance ramp that are on the right-hand side of your screen as that slow travel continues on eastbound Dodge. This is right near 144th, so that's traffic merging from 144th and getting to be a bit of a bottleneck in that area with the current situation there. We'll keep an eye on that, keep you posted as that situation evolves. We've been watching I-80 with some delays between 84th and 680. We were just checking on Dodge. Now I want to move our way to JFK, where we've been looking at some issues there as well. Here is what we've got going on in that stretch, approaching I-80 all the way back down to roughly the Childs area. where things are not to speed, and particularly as you're making your way past Childs and Chandler, you're getting your way further north. You see the reds that are showing up in that stretch, give you an idea of what kind of speed you can expect in that stretch. You're getting things that are ending up down around that 10 to 20 mile per hour range, right in that immediate area. Where you're in the oranges, you're looking more 20, 30 miles per hour. So let me get you a camera view of what it looks like heading through the delays on the northbound JFK. We'll watch a video feed from Nebraska DOT that as well. And yeah, you're looking at quite the delays here. Let me show you what we're talking about. Stretch. The northbound travel is on the right side of your screen. I'll pull myself off of the screen here so you can see that a little better. There it is. You can see that as northbound on the right, southbound on the left. And this is right around the Gilmore Bridge as you're in the approach there, as you're heading toward Q Street. We'll watch this for a little bit. So not really getting any reports of crashes this morning, but we've got several roads that are struggling a little bit as we get people heading back into their routine. The K is what you're looking at right now as you're making your way toward Q Street with slow travel there. We've also had some issues on Dodge. Let me show you that. This is as you're getting right around 144th with delays that are in place. And we've also had some on I-80 eastbound. A lot of eastbound travel being slow. That makes plenty of sense with the amount of travel that is heading that direction at this point in the morning. This view you're about to see here is as you're making your way toward 84th, heading eastbound. That's on the left is your east travel, where it is slower at this time. Something I want to do here is give you a reminder of a few different areas where maybe you weren't heading into the office yesterday. We did have several new areas of construction that started up yesterday, and I want to give you an idea of where those are, how you can work your way around those, and then we'll circle back to some of those areas where we are seeing our big delays. And if anything else pops in while we are going through this, we'll jump right to those spots. But let's take a look at Pacific Street first. This is eastbound right around 67th. You got a bridge with one-lane travel that's scheduled to be in place through the weekend. Watch for maybe some delays that may show up there. So far, handling that in pretty good shape. Next one, northbound Saddle Creek with a short section right near Pierce Street. So that's between and Leavenworth as you're heading northbound. That is one-lane travel that is also in place through the weekend. Also looking like we're handling that one in decent shape at this point. And then a lot of downtown work tied with streetcar. So let's run through some of these. Southbound 16th Street as you are between Farnham and Howard. That's pretty close to the Orpheum Theater that you are talking about. Right in the middle of that section is where that's located. So southbound closed, northbound still open. That's scheduled for the next month. If you are somebody who usually uses southbound 16th, you may make your way over to 17th as your alternate route. And then you need to continue south past Jackson. You can make your way to 16th and continue from there. Speaking of north-south roads, 12th Street south of Harney is also closed for the next month or so with work happening there. Then you have Farnham itself with a closure between 13th and 14th, short stretch, but that is kind of an inconvenient spot with not great alternate routes. You have to make your way up toward Dodge and then double back down, get to some of the area businesses around that stretch. So that's another area where you're looking at work happening. That's scheduled for 2 weeks. It's not all bad news, though. We did reopen Farnham between 11th and 13th, where we had been looking at that being closed. So ebbs and flows with this project, and that's the latest that you're looking at from that. All right, let's zoom back out and check in on what things are looking like. And a lot of our same delays are still there, and we've had in a couple of other ones. 204th, pretty slow, and making your way on the stretch between Dodge and Q Street. Some off and on delays there. Center, some pretty sizable delays eastbound as you're getting right near Bob Boozer, or 156th, if you will. That's slow all the way back past 168. So pretty sizable problems there. Haven't seen any word of if there's a crash there, but that is to be ready for some slow travel. Millard in general is looking at some issues, Pacific, with several spots that are slow between 168th and 144th. And you can see the issues we've talked about already on Dodge, that even getting worse near 156th and 168th. Continued on I-80 eastbound from about 84th back toward the 680 interchange. This area that you see right in the middle of your screen, that's the 72nd and L construction zone, so that makes sense that would be slow. And then the JFK slow from I-80 all the way back past Childs, and starting to see those delays get close to Cornhusker now as you're heading northbound. A couple spots on 370 with delays between the area right around Papula Vista South near 108th. You've got 96 westbound a little bit slow, and then 72nd and Highway 370 with some delays there as well, westbound. So several areas that are struggling a bit with delays. Let's show you the latest with an area on Dodge. Let's go a little further west than I'd been looking at 144th. Let's go to 168th and do add what we're seeing with some of those delays. That was where we're looking at things really starting to crawl in that area. And here's what that's looking like at this time. You can see not very good motion, just kind of crawling along. I'll let this roll for a little bit on the NDOT camera there. So not only is it slow on eastbound Dodge around 168th, it is nearly stopped as you're going through that stretch. Stop and go. Again, I've heard no word of any crashes, any issues that would be causing that aside from just a heavy traffic load, is a lot of people are heading back into their normal routine. And it's not just Dodge. That's the case on a number of our main roads. We'll check one more time on some of those. So there you go. That gives you your overall view of the commute, and you can see the particular biggest issues showing on Dodge. You've got that stretch from 144th now back to about 190th. Really a problem eastbound travel there. And then also got as you're approaching 90th where things are kind of skidding to a halt all the way back to 680. I-80 with some delays still in place from 84th back to 680 in spot. And then the JFK northbound from about that 480 interchange back down toward Child or so. I think with that, we will start to wrap this stream. Appreciate you tuning in as we guide you through the morning commute. We'll continue to keep you posted. Another live update coming up on First Alert 6 in about 5 minutes. And of course, you can always find all the latest updates on our website. We have our traffic blog there that we post any crashes, delays, construction updates on there. That's on firstalert6.com. I hope you have a great rest of your day and Tuesday goes well as you're getting back into the swing of things.